eye, live on Sony 10-1 and Sony 10-3. The crowd are on their feet for Vijender Singh as the champion of the Asia-Pacific region makes his way to the ring for his biggest test yet.
So, Vijender, can he defend his title? He's done it in Delhi. Now, a chance for him to show Mumbai that he's a deserving champion.
As always, Vijender looks relaxed, but I'm looking at Zulpikar. He's relaxed too, and look, that's nice to see with the tensions between India and China. The two pugilists coming together.
For the national anthems, first of China, followed by the national anthem of India, to mark, respect this fantastic contest here tonight. Thank you for being here and for rising for the national anthems.
The anthems observed impeccably.
There we go, the stage is
superstar icon.
Let's introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, the referee for this title unification fight. It goes 10 rounds, and it is seeking to unify the WBO Asia-Pacific crown and the WBO Oriental Super Middleweight crown. The referee for this contest, Mr. Dandrek Stapsadan from the Philippines. And the three judges for this contest, Mr. Sawang Tamikun, Mr. Surat Soy Krachang, and Mr. Mekin Sumon, all from Thailand. Ref, it's all yours. Before that, though, I'm going to just quickly introduce the two boxers in greater detail. First, in the blue corner, all of 23 years old, 6 feet tall, 75.9 kilos, a pro record of 8 victories and 1 draw, from Urumqi in China. It is Zulpikar Maimaitiali, the WBO Oriental Super Middleweight Champion. And his opponent in the red corner, now 32, also 6 feet tall, weighing in at 76 kilograms, an unbeaten professional record of 8 fights, 8 wins. From the cradle of boxing in India, Bhiwani, Haryana. Please welcome Vijender, the Knockout Singh.
Okay, Vijender, Zulpikar, I already gave your instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
The sound then, reading the last instructions of these boxers before they go toe-to-toe in this title versus title clash. Will it be Vijendra unifying the WBO Asia Pacific and WBO Oriental Super Middleweight champions, or will it be, from China, Zulpikar Maimaitiali? There can be only one king in Asia, and who that king in Asia is, we're about to find out.
Yes, and he's a southpaw. He could cause them trouble. Zulpikar is a southpaw, very dangerous customer. There they start. Patrick.
Great sportsmanship shown in the build-up to this fight by both boxers. One or two things, I think, taken out of context by the media. Vijender Singh, obviously, in the saffron green and white trunks, and the rather colourful green, black and yellow sported by the Chinese Zulpikar Maimaitiali. The crowd hush in anticipation to see who'll take the early advantage here. And so far, both fighters understandably relatively cagey.
A tentative start, that is expected, and Vijender, of course, has an impeccable defense and good footwork. I think it is Zulpikar who will have to go on the aggression, go on the front foot, as they say.
Well, we know with his amateur pedigree, his vast boxing experience, Vijender should have the boxing number of Maimaitiali, but can he avoid the power, the raw power and strength that Maimaitiali undoubtedly brings to the table in this, his 10th professional clash? Remember, not only are the titles on the line here, a big jump up the WBO rankings awaits the winner, and also, Novi, barring a draw, someone's O has got to go.
Yes, definitely. So far, very cagey. Hush of expectation all over the crowd, over 5,000 people with many celebrities also gathered over here for this, the final round, the big title
went with
bout.
the right there, that was the first proper contact. Zulpikar with the right smile. Zulpikar coming forward, Vijender catching with the counter with that right, but still we were waiting for the first really meaningful punch to make contact. Very reminiscent this at the start of the Kerry Hope fight when Vijender won the title a year ago, almost to the week.
Yes, Vijendra's defensive work has increased massively. The way he keeps his guard up and moves away from danger.
Zulpikar going with that right there, trying to make contact. Vijender aligned to it, he caught him with the left there. Zulpikar did make contact with the left there, and they're both having a clinch now. The referee, Danny Rex, will get in between them and separate them. But as you'd expect, are both fighters, I think, treating each other with maximum respect here in the early stages, with so much on the line.
Certainly, so much on the line, as well as a very cagey start. We're in the last 60 seconds of the first round, which really nothing to choose between either of the boxers. Nobody's taken an initiative, and it's the southpaw sometimes causing a bit of problem to Vijender, because leading with his left, then countering with the right. And Vijender content to let Maimaitiali go on the attack. You're very right, Patrick. It's very much similar to the fight against Kerry Hope.
The crowd rising to their feet now. The chant of Vijender is going up. Of course, that southpaw stance. Zulpikar coming forward inside the final 10 seconds now of round number one. Difficult to hold this one to either man. Vijender with a smile now and a bow of the head from Zulpikar. Lovely to see this respect, but that's after one round. Can this respect last another 9 long, grueling rounds as this battleground of Asia erupts? There can only be one king. Round 2 next.
एक बार मैं यूं ही पूछा कि 1 लाख लोग जब खड़े खड़े सचिन सचिन करते रहता है तेरे को क्या फील होता है? उसने कहा कि दे रिमाइंड मी ऑफ माय रिस्पांसिबिलिटी.
You know, even without doing much work, he can nick rounds here and there, and that's what he might have to do if this goes the whole distance. Remember, only once before has been Vijendra gone the whole distance of a 10-round contest. That was when he won the title by unanimous decision. And that was a slightly strange move from Zulpikar there. I think he was thought about attacking and then thought better of it.
Well, yeah, but it's still very early days in this unification bout. Titles on the line. Zulpikar, we know, and got a nice right in, can throw some heavy punches. And Vijendra, just how good is his training? He never looks like he's in fantastic shape, but we know he is. And you mentioned earlier against Checker and the lot that some of his punches can be really deceptively strong. He doesn't look like he's got big arms, but such is his arm speed, his hand speed, that they do hurt.
Yeah, we've talked about his conditioning before, Vijendra. I was talking to Lee Beard and John O'Williams, his trainer and fitness coach respectively. I think that's just a trait of Vijendra's. I don't think he's, you know, one for the low body mass index, but one thing's for sure, he's as fit as a flea.
That was very diplomatic of you. Zulpikar throwing in the left and getting away with it. So initially we've got to say, if anybody's done some damage, it's probably Zulpikar.
Going with the right by Vijendra. Zulpikar beckoning him on for more, but that was the first decent contact Vijendra's made.
The crowd loves it. 3 rights by Vijendra. Zulpikar rocked just a bit, but he's still smiling, still early. He's only 23, he's got lots of youth. Throws a big left, misses.
Oh, caught him there with a very cheeky little left as they were coming in for the clinch, but no harm done.
So as you say, Patrick, the thing to see is how well is Vijendra conditioned. It's a 10-round bout. Only once has he gone the distance with Gary Hope. And in the middle of that fight, I did remember that Vijendra was looking a little confused. How am I not able to put my opponent down? But eventually he lasted well, showed lots of good defensive skills. Little exchange.
Yeah, I think Vijendra managed to land with a shot to the body there, and Zulpikar with a shot to the temple of Vijendra, but still neither man has been truly rocked, and both seem relatively comfortable. If anything, if you're going to go by facial expression, Zulpikar perhaps looks slightly more concerned at this early stage, because here we are talking about Vijendra's experience, and is Zulpikar a step up for him? Let's be respectful to Vijendra. This is certainly a step up for Zulpikar as well.
Well, they're both fighting for these titles to retain them. The thing is, Vijendra is completely unbeaten, and is that weighing on his mind? Because you don't want to now have a loss at this point. We'll take a short break. We're coming back with much more. Stick around.
ये तुम क्या कर रहे हो? पप्पू को तुमने छुट्टी दे दी और गाड़ी तुम खुद धो रहे हो। बिल्डिंग में तुम नींबू पानी बेच रहे हो। आईपैड तुमको दिया था, तुमने उसका साइबर कैफे बना दिया है। आखिर क्या करना क्या चाहते हो?
पैसे कमा रहा हूँ।
पैसा कमाना खतरा काम है।
Do I see some concern on the fans of the Bachchan family and the faces of the Bachchan family, as well as Nirav, the promoter? Well, still very early days. 2 rounds up. They've been pretty even so far, according to me, Patrick.
Well, of course, we've had a clean sweep for Indian fighters so far. Our full 8-fight card, of course. We brought 5 of them, including this one, to you live on Sony 10-1 and Sony 10-3. It's been a clean sweep from India so far. We've seen fighters from Australia, the Philippines dispatched, and now we hope Vijendra will dispatch one from China. But as we start this 3rd round, quite a comfortable beginning. Just that one body shot that certainly made contact with Vijendra's torso, and Vijendra himself had a couple of cheeky little knocks, but they're still trying to feel each other out. I'm imagining towards the end of this round we might start seeing some more action.
You know, one of the big things for Vijendra in his entire career was the accuracy of his punches. Today, I see that missing. Well, it's just early days, so we'll see whether he can connect more accurately. But he does bide his time. He's a counter puncher. He doesn't look very aggressive, but he comes back very strongly at the right time. And of course, he has that habit of keeping boxers away with that extended left arm, just to make sure that they don't get too close.
One thing to note early on is it doesn't seem to be causing him too many problems, Vijendra dealing with the southpaw. I don't think that's the issue. I think they're both just quite wary of each other. There's a mutual respect, both personally and professionally here, as we see another suggestion of a low blow.
Well, the referee just checking with Vijendra that he's okay. I think he is. A quick warning to Zulpikar.
No point taken off, but that's a warning. The next time it happens, he will be docked a point.
Well, they both listed as 6 foot tall, but I do think Vijendra has a slight height advantage, perhaps an inch or so.
Might just be the haircut, but I think I agree with you there, Charu. He does certainly look the taller.
Oh, big right by Zulpikar. An overhead, and it does connect. Vijendra needs to come back, and he did with that left.
Well, certainly Vijender Singh, certainly on the retreat for these brief moments. Neither men look concerned now. It's almost like they're waiting for this fight to explode. Vijender is a calm and cool person, collected at the most of times, both in and out the ring. It's served him well in his boxing career, both amateur and professional so far. And similarly, Zulpikar, quite a quiet-mannered chap. There's no brash or bravado about these two, both very respectful.
Well, yes, so far lots of respect shown. One thing I've noticed though, Zulpikar every once in a while threatens to unleash and then just holds back. It's sort of like a mid-punch hold back, which is a little strange, but of course he's inflicted a fair amount of damage. I think his punches have a lot of weight behind them. Vijendra seemed a little, well, I'm not saying worried, but there was a look of admiration, if anything, on a couple of punches that he rode from Zulpikar. So we know that the Chinese can punch and punch big already.
Well, he can certainly bang. That much is for sure. Just ask any of his previous 9 opponents, including that Korean that he had the draw against. There's no question Zulpikar was winning that fight before it was stopped after 2 rounds because of an accidental clash of heads. So in reality, for me, unofficially, he's 9-0 Zulpikar. But I doubt he's been in with as good a boxer as Vijendra in those 9 fights. And he certainly hasn't got the amateur pedigree.
Well, perhaps not the amateur pedigree, but once again, he connected and Vijendra didn't. So my reading right now is that Vijendra is getting...
now they're going to tumble. Now that's got to be ruled a push or a slip.
Yeah, it's just a push. The referee waves it all away. Quick clean of the gloves. But I will suggest once again, well, that's the end of the round. We'll come back.
एक बार मैं यूं ही पूछा कि 1 लाख लोग जब खड़े खड़े सचिन सचिन करते रहता है फिर वो क्या फील होता है? उसने कहा कि they remind me of my responsibility.
We're back live at the Dome here at the magnificent NSCI in Mumbai. Big time boxing comes to Mumbai, and it's the main event of the evening, the double title fight. The Chinese Dragon against India's own Tiger. Title of the title, Vijender Singh in the saffron green and white, and Zulpikar Maimaitiali in the rather African-themed Chinese shorts. Charu Sharma alongside me. We're now into the 4th round, and Vijendra, I think you're feeling it when we were talking during the commercials there that you want to see him improve his accuracy.
Well, absolutely, because that was what he was known for, certainly his amateur career, and we can't complain about his professional career either. 8 fights, 8 wins, and why have they come? Because he was so accurate with his punching. But now I see him missing quite a bit in this fight. Well, he seems to be in the kind of shape we've always seen him, but just a little wary perhaps of the power of Zulpikar's punches. And he finds that his own are missing now. He is a counter puncher, and he waits and he bides his time, but he needs to land a few.
Oh, he did it right. Finally, he makes some contact with the right, but Zulpikar with another wry smile. If you go by facial expression, Zulpikar seems slightly the more concerned. Vijendra doesn't betray much emotion with his face. And again, Cheryl, help me out here, because you're always one for correcting me, and rightly so. Is there a slight bit of swelling on Vijendra's left eye? I might be imagining that. We're right here at ringside. I'm just trying to see if there's a bit of swelling. Certainly looks like some redness. Nothing to panic about just yet, but it certainly looks red.
Under his left eye for sure. Now, he's faced injuries before, so it's also a question of how much can you take, and we know that Vijendra's taken quite a bit in his career. So
and again,
connected by Zulpikar. Vijendra gets back a right. It's pretty even again, Patrick.
It is. This is a tough one to call, and Zulpikar, for the first time, some anger on his face, but still the right smiles between the two.
Well, Zulpikar also has a habit of telegraphing his big left, because he is a southpaw, and that's his big punch, the left. Listen, he does telegraph it.
Let's be clear, this is what we want to see. Very great and gracious of Vijender to take this fight on. This is a proper title fight. No messing around here, as this time Zulpikar Maimaitiali takes a tumble to the floor, which the referee rules won't count for anything, and he's smiling with a tap to the back of his head. But no, there's great respect here, and this is what we want to see. I would put to you that when you look at the quality of these two fighters, this is the best fight, not just the biggest, the best fight that India has ever seen in professional boxing.
Quite possible, Patrick. Let's billet that for now, because it certainly is. Vijendra's not getting away easily. A big right by Vijendra, right on the button.
Was there a wobble
Zulpikar
there?
comes back.
Wow! Zulpikar had a slight wobble there.
The crowd comes to life, as does Vijendra here. And that's what we were talking about. How much will the crowd lift? And once again, perhaps a low blow. The referee warning Zulpikar. Vijendra quite happy to indicate there was a low blow. Zulpikar a little bemused.
Well, it won't be too much longer before Zulpikar will start losing points for this. Now he's asked Vijendra to confirm it was a low blow. Has he taken off 1 point there? Let's wait and see. Is this an official warning, or is he taking off 1 point? No notification that it was a point off. He's put time back on, so we'll assume that no point was deducted, but he's on thin ice now, Zulpikar.
Well, he's close to getting docked twice now. The referee has been, well, I must say, pretty fair, because it's so unfair to dock a boxer a point. You suddenly feel like you're on the lower end of the scale there with a penalty.
Well, Vijendra, for the first time in this fight, slightly edging ahead, you feel. This was certainly a big round for Vijender Singh as we enter the final seconds of it. Vijender Singh takes round 4 in Mumbai.
एक बार मैं यूं ही पूछा कि 1 लाख लोग जब खड़े खड़े सचिन सचिन करते रहता है, तेरे को क्या फील होता है? उसने कहा कि they remind me of my responsibility.
Well, these big Bollywood stars, pretty emotionless on the face of it, but that's why they call them actors. I think every Vijender Singh fan will be much happier at the end of round 4 than they were at the start of round 3.
Well, I think they are fans of the game. They know the game, and they are a little worried because Vijendra's not hugely ahead so far. Now, he's had the habit of knocking out opponents in the second, third round. We know he went the distance with hope, but otherwise he's been pretty effective against his opponents. Today, we can sense that it's going to be a really tough encounter. For sure, it should go all the way to 10 rounds.
And of course, when you know you're facing someone with the punching power of Zulpikar Maimaitiali, you cannot take your eye off him for a moment, because they say in boxing, one punch can change a fight, and never truer words were spoken. And Vijendra on the attack there on the counter. Rocked, I think, momentum more than anything, rocked Zulpikar back, but the Chinese fighter, for the first time, looking a little bit uncomfortable, Shahrukh.
Oh, big couple of punches, a left and a right. And Vijendra could feel the heat of that. We here ringside could hear that. But Vijendra once again sticking to his strategy of just extending his left hand.
Oh, he got it with that right. The right came across and made contact. And all of a sudden, in the 4th and at the start of the 5th, it's Vijendra with the telling strikes.
Well, I've got to say once again, not being partisan, they are very level. Maybe a low blow there by Vijendra as well. Zulpikar's not complaining, not yet. In fact, a smile on his face. Big lefts thrown by the southpaw, Maimaitiali, and equally big the rights of Vijendra. The only advantage that Vijendra may have is those little flicks, those little jabs with his left hand, and they don't do too much damage, but they keep the opponent away.
There is already a lot of evidence here that the excellent Lee Beard and, of course, the fitness coach, John O'Williams, a great team they've got there at the gym in Manchester, England. You can already tell that there's been a lot of preparation and work got into playing and fighting against the southpaw.
As you were saying, Maimaitiali is certainly causing a lot of damage here with his big left.
He can bang, we can know that. Vijendra can box, so who wins, the banger or the boxer? Vijendra now going on the assault, and all of a sudden they're both unloading toe-to-toe. Vijendra coming back for more. The niceties are slowly but surely going out the window here, Charu.
Well, again, lots of low blows there, but both the boxers not complaining just yet. This is so close, Patrick.
Oh, very evident that Vijender Singh, as you'd expect, been doing a lot of work, fighting a southpaw here. Lee Beard clearly been preparing him thoroughly for this. And Zulpikar as well, looks like he's come here with a proper game plan as well. Two fighters certainly, in terms of their professional prime, still establishing themselves on the map. But the winner of this automatically, you think, becomes a top prospect. We were talking at the press conference yesterday, weren't we, to the WBO officials. I think a top 5 spot in the rankings is up for grabs in the super middleweight division. Of course, with the champion Gilberto Ramirez expected to defend on the Jeff Horn undercard if the rematch with Pacquiao happens.
Well, Patrick, I think that title fight, World Championship, a long way off, but again, very, very close to call. Great fight so far.
सुना है अमृतराज जी के पास ज्यादा वक्त नहीं है, क्या ये सच बात है?
क्या उनकी बीमारी इसलिए छुपाई जा रही है ताकि कंपनी के शेयर्स पे कोई फर्क ना पड़े?
वीर, अर्जुन और करण को मिलना चाहता हूँ। क्यों ना हम एक गेम खेलें? ये कोई मामूली गेम नहीं होगी। ये मुकाबला हमें अमृतराज कंस्ट्रक्शंस का नया मालिक देगा।
So we're back live here. So we're back here live at the Dome in the magnificent National Sporting Club of India. The main event, we're approaching the halfway stage, champion against champion. India against China, Vijender Singh certainly coming out strong in rounds 4 and 5. And as we pass the halfway mark, Charu, I think Vijendra's going to be pretty happy, but at the same time very wary that Zulpikar's still very much in this fight, and we've seen he can certainly throw them.
Well, Zulpikar's coming with some big lefts, that's what we have to say. Vijendra has been hurt, he's come back with a few of his own. Not quite the more aggressive of the two, Vijendra, but great counter-punching. And watch that extended left hand of his jabbing away, just irritating Zulpikar more than anything else. But it's the big right that we wait for from Vijendra. Once again, a low blow. Vijendra complains, and the referee has no choice but to send them back to neutral corners.
It cannot be long before a point comes off here, and I think it's going to happen now. 1 point goes off. It was only a matter of time. And bearing in mind, we've been talking about this fight being very close. Just will that come back to haunt him? At this level, when fighters are this evenly matched, losing a point can be devastating, Charu.
Well, true. He had the opportunity. He was won twice. And I'm not suggesting that he's doing it deliberately. It happens in the heat of the contest, and now he needs to do so much more to get past that 1 point that he was docked. And sometimes, of course, when you're over-aggressive, it could turn against you.
Well,
Vijendra will watch out for that.
To put it into context, most of these rounds have been quite tight. They'll be certainly scored 10-9 or 10 each either way. And if you lose a point, you might lose a round you otherwise levelled up with. And with this fight being so close, that could come back to haunt him, and that left almost caught Vijendra. Vijendra comes straight back with the right, and then Zulpikar with the right, and comes in to try and make contact with the body, and then now I think Zulpikar's asking for a low blow. Nothing doing with referee Danimex Taptasan.
Well, there haven't been too many flurries, but there have been big punches. Zulpikar tries a right, misses completely, but Vijendra is still biding his time. Looks like he hasn't really given off 100% yet, just saving it up. We know it's a long fight. Like I said, it might go all the way to 10, and you do need the energy in those final few rounds to impress the judges.
Referee Taptasan stepping in between them. He's having to do plenty of that. There's plenty of clinching going on. Still 4 rounds left after this one. Remember, this 10-round title fight for the WBO Asia Pacific Championship held by Vijendra, and the Oriental title in the WBO at the super middleweight division held by Zulpikar Maimaitiali. One of these men, in around about 15 minutes' time, will have 2 belts hoist around their waist and in the air. But who's it going to be? I'm still none the wiser, Charu, and we're 42 seconds away from the end of round 6.
Well, just those light left jabs by Vijendra. They're not going to hurt him again.
Vijendra's been hurt, no. Has he rolled a slip there? I would fight with the back of Vijendra there. For a minute, I thought
he does look winded, Vijendra.
Yeah, for a minute there, I thought he went down. I wouldn't mind seeing that on a replay. Zulpikar doesn't seem unhappy so much. Agree it was a slip, but I think you're right, Charu. I think Vijendra did get hurt with that. Slip or no slip, Vijendra was rocked.
And Zulpikar came in with another big left, so Zulpikar certainly hurting the super middleweight champ from India.
And there's a hush in the Dome at the NSCI at the moment. A concerned hush that we didn't hear during the Kerry Hope and Francis Checker fights. But Vijendra comes back, trying to rock himself
Big right by Vijendra. Zulpikar, of course, pretends it didn't hurt him with a crowd like that.
Well, that's the end of round 6. Nervous times for India and Vijender Singh. Round 7 on the way in just a couple of moments. Stay with us.
ये तुम क्या कर रहे हो? पप्पू को तुमने छुट्टी दे दी और गाड़ी तुम खुद धो रहे हो। बिल्डिंग में तुम नींबू पानी बेच रहे हो। आईपैड तुमको दिया था, तुमने उसका साइबर कैफे बना दिया है। आखिर क्या करना क्या चाहते हो?
पैसे कमा रहा हूँ।
पैसा कमाना?
Back live on Sony Pictures Sports Network. You're watching this on Sony 10.1. And of course, in Hindi, the commentary is on Sony 10.3. Hope you're enjoying the fight. I don't know whether Vijendra is, because for me, it's still very close to call. I'm Charu Sharma. I got Patrick King on here with me. Patrick, Vijendra has been hurt. Zulpikar's punching prowess, very evident. Those big lefts have certainly hurt. It's time now for Vijendra to pick it up and get some more accuracy that I've been suggesting in this contest.
We thought it going into the fight. We certainly know it now. This is Vijender Singh's biggest test as a professional. It was ruled a slip, that tumble to the floor in the previous round, but I think there was certainly some contact from Zulpikar that aided him going down, shall we say, although it must be fair that Maimaitiali didn't appeal to the referee for it to be called a knockdown. Even more extraordinary when you bear in mind, if you are just joining us, Maimaitiali in that previous round docked a point for low blows after being given several warnings by referee Danimax Tapdasan. So Zulpikar, if it does go to points, is automatically at a 1-point disadvantage. But I agree with you, Charu. Vijendra's got to be very careful now as we enter these later rounds. With these two titles on the line, any mistake at this point could be fatal.
Zulpikar not quite breathing as heavily as we think Vijendra is. Well, he is older by several years, by about, what, 9 years or so. Plenty of experience, but we've got to say Zulpikar, the younger boxer, seems to have more energy and certainly a lot of weight behind that big left. He connects again. Vijendra's rocked.
He's starting to blow. I'm just keeping an eye on that left eye that we've talked about. So far, doesn't seem to be getting any worse. I don't see any marks at the moment on the face of Zulpikar Maimaitiali, although that might soon change the way Vijendra's coming forward now. And we're not too far away as well, Charu, from knowing which of these two guys has had the harder camp and who's got the higher fitness levels. That's certainly going to play a factor. This isn't a repeat of the Niraj Goyat fight where both fighters, I think, are going to finish still swinging after 12 rounds. I get the impression one or both of these guys is going to tire badly.
Well, another big right uppercut attempted by Vijendra, but again the accuracy is missing.
Oh, now
quite
Zulpikar
contain the precision that we've seen
okay
in the past by Vijendra.
There was a grimace there from Zulpikar, but referee asked him if he was all right. He said he was, but there's certainly a grimace. Another, he turned at his ankle and he took a wild lunge there, and Vijendra choosing not to follow up that opportunity to keep him in the corner and just probing with that left jab.
Well, some good defensive work shown just a few seconds away by Vijendra. And these clinches, Patrick, are getting longer and longer, indicating that both are feeling the heat here.
Well, it's an incredible contrast to our WBC Asian welterweight bout, which is the previous fight with Niraj Goyat and Alan Tandana going at it toe-to-toe for 12 rounds. They look like they fancy going 12 more. These guys, I think the adrenaline and the occasion is certainly possibly taking its toll. And Vijendra, oh, he caught it. I think Vijendra was caught with a little tap there as Danimax tried to get between them.
Well, yeah, the Goyat-Tanada fight was fabulous, and they looked in terrific shape. This one, of course, they are heavier boys, bigger punches. Another round too close to call, just a matter of time now. We'll see what happens.
ये तुम क्या कर रहे हो? पप्पू को तुमने छुट्टी दे दी और गाड़ी तुम खुद धो रहे हो। बिल्डिंग में तुम नींबू पानी बेच रहे हो। आईपैड तुमको दिया था, तुमने उसका साइबर कैफे बना दिया है। आखिर क्या करना क्या चाहते हो?
पैसे कमा रहा हूँ।
पैसा कमाना?
Concerned faces in the crowd here at the Dome. Vijender Singh involved in a nail-biter against Zulpikar Maimaitiali, and we've just been watching Charu Sharma alongside me and myself. Some work being done on that left eye that we identified of Vijender Singh very early in this fight, being slightly swelled up. Certainly nothing, no major cause for concern yet, Charu, but this is nervous times. Just 3 rounds to go, or under 3 rounds now. And will that point that Zulpikar was docked still turn out to be one of the turning points and differences in this fight, if it does get to points?
Well, Vijendra snuck in a right. That would help, but it didn't seem to worry Zulpikar too much. And really now, with 2.5 rounds to go, it's about time that one of them steps it up, because it's too close for me to call. They do need to step it up now. Let's see what kind of energy they have left.
Oh, Vijendra trying to go for the body, and Zulpikar replying in kind. And Zulpikar, with that wild swinging left, catches Vijendra. Vijendra smiles and shrugs it off. I think there's still some punches to be thrown in this one in the remaining 8 minutes and 4 seconds that we've got to enjoy here live on Sony 10.1 and Sony 10.3 and on the Sony Pictures Network all over the world. These pictures being filmed and beamed to fight fans all over the globe. Many Indians, I'm sure, all over the world cheering on Vijendra, and of course the huge Chinese population worldwide getting behind their man Zulpikar. When you think that these two men represent the two biggest countries on the planet, what a sight and spectacle this is.
Well, this is not Vijendra's style, but he's being forced to, because he's a counter-puncher, comes in, punches and leaves and makes sure that he doesn't get hurt. But right now, late in this 8th round, he has no choice but to pile on the aggression.
Are you impressed, Charu, with how he's been coping facing a southpaw? You couldn't really say in the aftermath of this fight, win, lose or draw, that it was the southpaw style that gave him some problems, and there were certainly no problems facing a southpaw as he came forward with that one too.
Well, it was an exchange. Both got a punch in. The crowd, of course, love their boxers right. But Zulpikar also snuck in a big punch. Oh, this is continuing to be so even for me, Patrick.
Keep coming back to that point that was docked in the middle rounds. And if it's as close as you think it is, Charu, and I've given up scoring after the Niraj Goyat fight, if it's as close as that point could still be the turning.
Well, you make an important point, because, yeah, for me it's very close, and it does appear that that one point that was docked earlier for low blows will hurt Zulpikar in the end. But we don't quite know. We're not guessing here. It's just
I think they're
tight.
They're both tiring here, but Vijendra seems to be gassing more than Zulpikar. Those gulps of air that he's going for in the clinches are getting heavier and heavier, Vijendra. And I wonder if Zulpikar's corner, bearing in mind he's had that point deduction, will tell him, bearing in mind he's in India, and not accusing anyone of anything, but we know how hard it is to get decisions. That's just the way it is in sport, never mind boxing. I wonder if Zulpikar's corner will send him out for 9 and 10, really having a go as we enter the final seconds of the 8th round of this championship thriller, as blood pours out of Vijender Singh's nose and his core with the right, and then Zulpikar catches Vijendra twice, and Vijender Singh needed the belt badly. There is work to do in the corner of the Indian champion. High drama here in Mumbai. We're back in 5.
ये तुम क्या कर रहे हो? पप्पू को तुमने छुट्टी दे दी और गाड़ी तुम खुद धो रहे हो। बिल्डिंग में तुम नींबू पानी बेच रहे हो। आईपैड तुमको दिया था, तुमने उसका साइबर कैफे बना दिया। आखिर क्या करना क्या चाहते हो?
पैसे कमा रहा हूँ।
पैसा कमाना?
Well, luckily for all of you, we're back in under 1 minute, not 5, otherwise you'd have missed the rest of this incredible fight. Charu Sharma alongside myself, Patrick King, on, and if you are just joining us, you've missed a very tense 8th round, which ended, Charu, with Vijender Singh looking in a spot of bother. You are looking concerned, my friend.
Well, I certainly am, and a lot of the people here at the Dome in NSCI are too. Vijendra has absorbed a lot of punishment in that previous round. That nosebleed, well, it has been taken care of, but Zulpikar moved in so quickly, knowing they had an opportunity. You mentioned about that one point that he was docked, but he came back in the last round and perhaps has erased the possibility of that 1 point dock being hurtful to him.
Yep. But you still get the feeling that the winner of these 9th and 10th rounds will be the winner of this fight. I think it's that important, it's that close. We've seen the scoring can be quietly unpredictable, but I think the winner of 9 and 10 takes home both the titles. Will it be Vijender Singh or Zulpikar Maimaitiali? A scrappy start to this 9th, Charu.
Well, it's now or never. Vijender knows that, and I don't see his punches increasing in accuracy. And obviously he's tired, both the boxers are. But for me, Zulpikar still has a lot of energy, and well, we keep talking about youth and experience. Vijender has the experience, but the youth of Zulpikar are certainly coming to good use today. Misses that big right, but Vijender really needs to come back and come back strong for me if he is to assure himself of victory here today.
I'm just looking around this magnificent arena at the Dome at the NSCI in Mumbai, and there are some stony faces as Vijender goes down again. Now, Vijender goes down. I wonder if he's just using this. He does look genuinely hurt. I think the low blow's been called. He's sending him to the neutral corner. Now, what is referee Danarex Tapdasan going to do here? The crowd ringing out, cheater, cheater to Zulpikar. I think that's a little bit harsh.
Well, that's a bit harsh. That's unfair, because like I said, it's the heat of the moment. You don't really plan these things.
Now,
Zulpikar's already been docked to point. We'll see what the referee can do here now.
He's talking to the official to find out what's happening. Surely we're not going to see a disqualification here. That would be a most unsatisfactory ending. He's keeping Vijender in the neutral corner. Zulpikar, I think both of these guys probably are grateful for the breather they're getting here, but he's giving Zulpikar what looks like to me a final warning, is he? He's still giving Vijender more time. Now what? He spoke with one of the officials.
And here's that moment again. Oh, yeah, for sure. That was a low blow. And Vijender suffering immediately goes down.
I'm listening into the conversation with referee Danarex Tapdasan is having with Vijender Singh right in front of us. I think they're going to deduct. No. Happy to continue. That's very gracious of Vijender. There was no complaints of Vijender. He wanted to get back on with it, so no further punishment, seemingly, to Zulpikar. But Vijender now knows, I think you're right, Charu, he's going to make a big impression in this last 4 minutes and 15 seconds of this thrilling fight in Mumbai.
Well, there's only one man who's the aggressor here. It's Zulpikar Maimaitiali, as Vijender continues to backpedal and try and counter once in a while.
Oh, yes!
He got in there! All right!
That was a massive right, and I think Zulpikar can literally sense blood, because it's Vijender Singh's blood splattered all over the body of Zulpikar Maimaitiali.
3 rights by Vijender. They're all on target, although Zulpikar's coming back with his own, but it's good to see Vijender still having the fight in him.
Vijender Singh, I think his nose is broken. There is blood pouring, and I mean pouring out of the nose of Vijender Singh. His nose is broken for sure. He's in a bad way and he goes down, but still it's ruled a slip. Zulpikar wanted a knockdown, but he gets a slip, and look at the blood pouring out of Vijender Singh's nose. I can see the canopy of the ring is covered in the blood of the Indian champion, and these are worrying times indeed here in Mumbai.
As much from the punches as from these headbutts. They are clinching very often. Another right by Zulpikar sneaks through. Vijender backpedaling, gets another left on the face. He is hurt.
Vijender Singh is gasping. Credit to him. He's still wanting to fight here in front of these adoring fans in Mumbai, but he is in trouble here. Are we witnessing the O in Vijender Singh's impressive 8-0 record being vanquished by his unbeaten fellow champion Zulpikar Maimaitiali, who took the challenge to come to India?
And left by Vijender, sneaks through. Another right by Vijender.
Oh, he got him again. What a great end to the 9th round.
सुना है अमृतराज जी के पास ज्यादा वक्त नहीं है, क्या ये सच बात है?
क्या उनकी बीमारी इसलिए छुपाई जा रही है ताकि कंपनी के शेयर्स पे कोई फर्क ना पड़े?
वीर, अर्जुन और करण को मिलना चाहता हूँ। क्यों ना हम एक गेम खेलें? ये कोई मामूली गेम नहीं होगी। ये मुकाबला हमें अमृतराज कंस्ट्रक्शंस का नया मालिक देगा।
Well, Vijender Singh needing every second of this 60 seconds between rounds as we approach the 10th and final. His nose has been battered, bruised and broken. The blood has been pouring out. Lee Beard and John O'Williams doing some last-minute running repairs. But difficult to score these fights. We had an unofficial scorecard during the rounds halfway through the Niraj Goyat fight. Certainly no unofficial scorecards doing the round here. But you have to think Vijender Singh, even allowing for Zulpikar Maimaitiali being docked that point for the low blow in the middle of the fight, Vijender Singh needs a strong finish here. And if anything, Zulpikar was coming out as the aggressor, Charu, and he got him with a right again.
Well, Vijendra's accuracy is completely missing. He is gassed. Perhaps not in the best shape, but of course he's up against a much younger, more energetic opinion. Still trying to get something going, Vijendra, but it's more backpedaling than attack. And the referees, the judges will be seeing that. So much work today for Danrex Taptasan in the ring.
Yeah, Danrex Taptasan has had a lot to marshal here, and for the most part done it brilliantly. In fact, all of our BBC and WBO officials have been fantastic with us here in Mumbai on this big fight weekend. They come from all four corners of the globe to work with us, and they've helped make this event so special. But we've got a horrible feeling that it's not going to get the end, this magical battleground Asia that we all wanted to see, because Vijender Singh is struggling and he's grabbing on, he's holding on with 1 minute 45 to go. Can Vijender Singh find a magic punch from somewhere to turn the tide of this fight around? Vijender Singh is almost out on his feet at this point. He's still managing to gather some energy from somewhere, but Zulpikar knows he's got his number. Can Vijender Singh hang on, and can the judges come to his rescue?
Vijendra certainly did well enough in the opening few rounds, and of course that one point that was docked for the low blow for Zulpikar. Wonder how much that will have as an effect on the result.
But you called it at a very early stage, Charu. One of the trademarks of Vijendra has been his economy and his accuracy and his punches, and it's just not been there today. Whether that's due to inactivity or the ability of the opponent, we just don't know. But this isn't the Vijender Singh we know and love, and it's to his credit, even having an off day with a minute to go in the 10th, he's still in there pitching to win both belts.
Well, this is one of the toughest situations I've ever seen Vijendra in. Of course, in his amateur career, he had a few tough fights, but this one, we've got to say, Zulpikar has done some terrific work. Heavy blows, lots of aggression, and Vijendra now has just a few seconds to try and come back and take this decisively. Very close. At one point that we saw him getting docked earlier, Zulpikar, wonder what effect's going to have, but he's done a lot of damage to our champion here, Vijendra.
Well, the best they can give Vijendra a 10-8 in that round, but not much more. The crowd are on their feet, they're trying to sense something, and now all of a sudden Zulpikar looks a bit gassed. Is he calling another low blow there? Surely not another low blow. Now, oh, he's saying that he's not. Is he talking on the leg there? Is it another point now? Is this another point coming off?
Well, that's just going to bury Zulpikar if it does.
Yeah,
he's checking.
hold on.
He's checking with the desk.
Vijender Singh has said it is the low blow, so does he take another point off here? This could be crucial. What drama? With 17 seconds to go in the fight, doesn't appear, we'll wait for the clarification, doesn't appear another point came off.
The final blows. Zulpikar's done so well. Vijender, last ounce of energy, gets in the right. Zulpikar attacking once again. It's all very scrappy.
Vijender goes down, it's ruled another slip. We're into the final seconds. Both these men, whoever's going to lose has gone out swinging. It's been an absorbing, thrilling encounter, and Vijender Singh has been taken to parts of the professional boxing ring that he's never been to before.
There we go, the end of a superlative fight. Vijendra's record might be in danger, but we will see. Zulpikar has done so much hard work here today. Credit to the Chinese. Lots of heavy blows. Vijendra lasting out the 10 rounds, but not with his usual precision and accuracy today.
Zulpikar going straight over to Vijender Singh to congratulate him. Vijender Singh is severely gassed. I think his nose is going to turn out to be very badly broken. And there was muted celebrations from the Vijender camp. And to be fair, Zulpikar's camp weren't carrying on as if they thought this was a foregone conclusion. And if you've watched one boxing match, you know that the judges can be, if anything, if not unpredictable. And Zulpikar getting the applause of the crowd. Vijender Singh on the shoulders of John O'Williams, his fitness coach. But I'll tell you what, these aren't the same level of celebrations in terms of confidence that we heard at the end of the Kerry Hope fight. There are some concerned faces in Mumbai. Has Vijender Singh done enough to win both belts? Is a draw a possibility? Of course, with a draw, it brings into the equation a potential rematch. I'm sure they'll be interested in that, bearing in mind the vast boxing audience in China and the fact they've both put on a display here has Vijender Singh managed to keep hold of his belt and win the Oriental Championship from Zulpikar as well. It's Battleground Asia. There can only be one king in Asia. Will it be Zulpikar Maimaitiali of China, or will it be Vijender Singh of India? We're moments away from finding out who's turned one belt into two and who will automatically rocket up the WBO rankings with, I'm sure, one eye on Gilberto Ramirez and that WBO world title. So I think Cherry Sharma is ready. I'll put you and everyone here in Mumbai out of their misery. Let's get into the ring, and Cherry Sharma with the official verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. And wherever you are watching around the world, thank you for joining us for this multiple belt fight. We are now ready for the official result. Remember, we've got two belts on the line, the WBO Asia Pacific and WBO Oriental Super Middleweight titles. Judge number one, Sawang Tawikun, judges it 96-93. Judge number two, Mekin Sumon, has it 95-94. And judge number three, Surat Soikrachang, has scored it 95-94. The closest possible unanimous decision. Now, the WBO Asia Pacific and the WBO Oriental Super Middleweight Champion, in the red corner, Vijender Singh! Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause and appreciation for his opponent today. Do put your hands together for the man from Urumqi, Zulpikar Maimaitiali. Well boxed. Commiserations. You put up a fabulous show here today.
Congratulations, Mumbai! Congratulations, India!
Vijender, whoa, can we turn the music down just a bit? Vijender, hang on, we'll get him back in a second, we'll get him back in a second.
So Charu anxiously and patiently waiting for Vijender. I have never seen a sporting crowd as nervous as they were as they waited for that verdict. As Charu said when reading the scores out, it couldn't have been much closer, and of course the reality is without that dot point I'm pretty certain we'd have been looking at a draw, but as it is, Vijender Singh has both belts. Zulpikar Maimaitiali's camp, it must be said, took the result extremely well. I'm sure there'll be a call for a rematch somewhere down the line, but it's to the credit of the Chinese that they've come here, they've been beaten, and they've taken defeat with good grace. I'm sure there'll be some people, probably not in India, who watch this fight and look at the scorecards and ask some questions. But Vijender Singh, definitely not at his best tonight, but he's got the job done. He is now a double title holder and is rocketing up the WBO rankings. Now he's back in the ring. I think Cherry Sharma will try and get Vijender Singh. We'll just give Cherry a second. Vijender Singh rightly wanting to celebrate with all his fans and celebrities. Let's get to Cherry Sharma. He's now got Vijender Singh.
Thank you, Patrick. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, still unbeaten. Vijender, the knockout king. Vijender, whoa, congratulations. I know you have many people to thank first.
Thank you so much. But I don't want to be this title. I don't want. Because I want to give it back to Zulpikar. because I don't want any tension on the border. So I'll give it back to him. It's a message of peace, I think. So I don't want this belt. I give it to him simply, and he give it to their people. And he says, message ki don't come to our border. It's a peace message, that's it. So I don't want this belt. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Peace for all. You will have to wait till you go backstage and present it to him. Maimaitiali, well fought. The belt, Vijender says, is still yours. But Vijender, we've got to ask you today, was this the toughest fight you ever had? Kya isse aur kuch mushkil kabhi pehle hua?
I didn't expect that fight. I don't want it. I think it's hardly 5 or 6 rounds. But it's changed because I didn't play my game and I was in a hurry. I didn't make it, but it goes to 10 rounds. He did like 2-3 under belt, blow belt. That's foul and it's disturbed me. So that's the only reason I must say.
That was certainly unfortunate. लेकिन ये बात बताइए कि ये जो आपकी जीत आज है, where you remain unbeaten, ये Indian professional boxing के लिए कितनी बड़ी साबित होगी?
It's big because lots of people coming here, especially Amitabh Bachchan, like Badshah, like King, Sansa, and Baba Ramdev ji. I'm very inspired of Baba Ramdev ji because he did lots of very interesting things. So thank you, lots of Bollywood star here, Randeep Hooda is here, Manu Malik. So thank you all, thank you so much, thanks for coming. You make, especially Mumbaikar, because the craze was superb. When I just land the...
Well, Mumbai, if you want him back, make some noise! There you go.
Thank you.
Vijender, I've got to ask you today, you went the distance, but a word of praise for your opponent. Maimaitiali had a very good fight today. Surprised you?
It is, man. Because I thought China maarne zyada nahi chalega, but he surprised me. Yeah, it surprised me. Come on, man.
All right, what next, Vijender? I know a lot of rest, but after that, are you thinking you're inching closer to a world title?
Hope for the best, man. Hope for the best. And just pray for me. Just wish me good luck. I will get a world title one day.
All right, you're very tired, Vijender. I can see that. But we want to congratulate you on behalf of all the fans of boxing in India. Vijender Singh, ladies and gentlemen, he retains his title. And of course, he also gets his Oriental title, which he said he might want to return to Maimaitiali. A superb fight. Thanks so much for joining us. He will enjoy his final moments in the ring, and we will go back to commentary.
Well, everyone in Mumbai, no one has left. They're all hanging around to salute their double champion. And what a gesture from Vijender Singh, offering to give the belt back to Zulpikar Maimaitiali as a token and a gesture of peace, bearing in mind the political tensions between the two countries, typical of the man that is Vijender Singh. I don't think anyone would argue over his best tonight, but he's done enough in the eyes of the judges to get past his Oriental champion opponent. I can see Nirav Talar in the ring celebrating with him. Of course, Nirav will now be getting busy finding out where his next fight will be. And there'll be obviously a clamour for a world title challenge. When the WBO release their next rankings, you can expect Vijender Singh's name to be at the very least in the top 5 with Gilberto Ramirez. Certainly a name that will be in the spotlight, the WBO super middleweight champion, because now he's not only champion in the Asia Pacific region, Vijender Singh is also champion in the Oriental area. It's been an incredible night here in Mumbai. Battleground Asia. There can only be one king in Asia. Would it be the dragon or the tiger? It was the tiger and the double champion. Vijender, the King Singh, has 2 belts tonight and triumphs at Battleground Asia.
Sony Live, we live to entertain. 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 Sony Live, we live to entertain.